Welcome to Authentically Her After 40. My name is Natalie, and today I have something special for you. We look at turning 50, and we often don't see what women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s are going through. And I found this video, I started to watch it, and then I wanted to come and watch it authentically with you. And then we're gonna talk about it together. You drop some comments, you let me know what you think about this. And it's quite striking that she says she's struggling at 50, and I feel like so many of us get to 50 and we're struggling emotionally, and it's for different reasons, right? And so it's really nice to bring a picture of another woman who's having some struggles so that we know that we're not alone. So we're gonna hit play, we're gonna go ahead and listen to what she has to say, and you drop some comments and let me know if this resonates with you as we talk about it. Let's go. This is Wonder Woman. You can find her on TikTok. Please follow her. I want to give credit to where credit is due. This is her content. I started to listen to it. Anyway, let's just get into it.
So I just watched a post of a woman who said everything that I'm thinking, but I've never shared. And it's about being older and being single and not having children. It's pretty hard. It's harder to say.
Now, I know that there's some women out there who made choices that they want to be single. And so I don't think she's not speaking to those women. I think many women wait until they get older and they think, oh, you know what, I'm going to have time. I'll get married later, I'll have kids later. And so I'm not speaking to the women who never wanted children or who didn't want to get married, because those women are out there. Look at Diane Keaton. She did have children. I think she adopted children, I'm not sure, but she just passed away. And Diane Keaton made a choice to not be married, and she was happy with her choice. But let's continue and see where, in this age of feminism that we're in, many women, we forget we have a biological clock. And not that we forget, but we think we have time. And for every woman, that time to have a child is different. There's women that get to 42 and it's no problem, they have a baby. Other women get to 42 and it's a whole ordeal. And maybe that time has expired, where they can have their ability to have children has expired already. And that's just going to be different for everyone. But let's continue.
And I never speak out about it. It's a difficult thing knowing that you're living this life without children and without anybody there. I'm single. Dating has been tough, and being in a relationship is extinct.
There's something that people don't tell you, right? She says dating is tough as you're getting older, and being in a relationship is extinct. I don't know that it's extinct, but can you imagine that you're in your 50s, right? As a woman, you're in your 50s, but the man that you might find in his 50s who doesn't have children yet, he's not looking for you. He's looking for a woman maybe who can give him children. And so then you're like, you've been removed from that pool. And I think that in the age of feminism, where we thought like we were competing with men and we had time, and we could always find someone, the men are looking for younger women. And I think I've mentioned this before, and there's plenty of, there's other content creators. I love, by the way, I love Riva. I think her name is Riva TV. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. And I'll link her in the description box, where she talks about a lot of different things. And this is one of them. Let's continue.
Back a few weeks ago, I suffered a mild heart attack, and I had to take an Uber to the hospital, to the ER. And being a nurse, I had a feeling it was a heart attack. And it was the worst feeling in the world. Sitting there on the curb, waiting for an Uber to come and pick me up. I didn't think I was going to make it, and it was just disheartening to not have anybody there but an Uber driver to take me to the ER.
That's really sad. We think, they tell you as women, oh, you can be alone. You can do it all by yourself. And when you don't have children, when you don't have a spouse, you don't have a partner, you know what? She's a nurse like me. But still, I'm sure she has friends, but her friends have families. She doesn't want to impose on her friends who have their own families, their own kids, and everything else that they're dealing with. And as a nurse, I would have called 911, but that's another story. She should have called 911. I'm glad she's okay. But sometimes we're stubborn as nurses. Like, to be in a situation like that where you're alone, you're waiting for an Uber, you're sick, there's nobody to care for you. I'm bringing this because I always bring you the stories where women are like, oh, they're so tired. They're so tired of their relationships. And I'm going to be talking more about that in another video, because sometimes it is time to get out of the relationship that you're in, but you have to hold yourself accountable, and then you need to understand also what that leads to. And I'm not talking for women who are being abused or anything like that, but many times we get bored in the relationships that we're in. We get complacent, tired. We're watching social media and we're seeing all these people out here, all these women out here talking about how great life is, the single life out there. But the truth is, they're preaching this to you who are in a relationship, and you're thinking, oh wow, I never got to do that. Maybe you got married young and you never had the chance to be out there and have all this fun that you see all these women having. And then you get out there and you realize it's not what you think it is, because the dating pool is dwindling as you're getting older. And if you've made a choice to hold off and not have children, to hold off to get married, right? Because you had a laundry list of expectations, maybe of the man that you were going to marry, instead of finding someone that you were compatible with and building a life with, which is what I think everyone needs to do. I see so many women online actually saying that, oh, like, the guy has to have this much money and that much. He has to be up to this standard, and he has to do this and he has to do that. There's no reflecting back on themselves and where they are. Like, that can't just be one-sided. You can't just be out there looking for a man to fulfill everything. And again, that's a conversation for another day, because we have to be able to fulfill ourselves within a relationship. You're never going to find a man that's going to 100% make you whole. That's not a thing. You can be whole together, but you can't be looking to the other person to make you whole. You have to make yourself whole. But conversation for another day. Let's continue.
So let me go back to the post that this woman made, and it was about being older and alone and suffering mentally with this of being alone, not having children, and just the woes of it all. It's like I go to work. I do what I have to do to survive, and it's a struggle just to wake up every day knowing I'm going to work just to pay my bills. And then what? Like, I'm struggling with this every day. I'm getting older. My health has failed, and who's going to be there for me?
And that's the other thing. As a healthcare professional, I can tell you, nurses are overworked and so stressed out. So it's really ironic that we work in the healthcare industry and our health is failing. And anyhow, as you're getting older, you're going to have health issues, right? Who's going to be there with you? I think when we're younger, we don't even think about that because we think, oh, we can take care of ourselves. And that's what we're told. Be self-sufficient, be able to take care of yourself. But there's value in having a partner. If you want children, there's value in having children, not so they can take care of you, but that you can have someone that cares about you, right? That companionship that you so often can't get from anywhere else. Like, you can have friends, but your friendships don't bring in that type of union. They don't bring in that kind of companionship that you need as you're getting older.
I feel like us women who are in the same boat, and there's a lot of us out there, I know there are, I just want to hear it because I feel like sometimes I'm alone in all of this. And I would like to know that there's other women out there who are in the same boat. And gosh, I would love to get a commune or just get a bunch of women together. I wanted to buy land. I mean, it's so astronomical right now to buy something. The prices of land here in Utah and homes, just astronomical. I can't afford it. Can't afford it.
And that's the other thing, right? There's value in having a union where you can build something together, right? And maybe be able to afford things together. Now, I'm not saying that's the only reason that you get married, but there's that idea of building together. And then also the other thing that I'm hearing in her voice is that sense of purpose that brings out who you are, that sense of who you are. We're told this lie that, like, she's a nurse and I'm a nurse too, but I'm not only a nurse. My nursing degree is not my identity. And it's, for some reason, when we're younger, what you do for a living seems to be your identity, and somehow we identify that with purpose. And as we get older, we start to realize that it's not it's not one and the same. It can be, but a lot of times, like, we get to that point and we're like, we get to this age and we're like, oh my gosh, there's all these things that I wanted to do, and maybe we don't even know what that is anymore because we've just been in this rat race of going to work, going to sleep, getting up, going to work, coming home, going to sleep, and just doing it all over and over again. And then you're like, why am I doing it? What is the purpose of all this? And then your health is failing. You don't have anyone to share it with. Like she mentioned, I want for my ladies out there who are struggling with this, drop a comment. Share your stories so others can see that they are not alone. And she's mentioning, like, she wants to build a commune, but I think it's more about finding a purpose at this point, because that's just what I think. But maybe a commune for her would work. But I think, like, building a commune would more reinforce that, okay, you know what, as women, like, we'll just get in a group and we'll just put ourselves somewhere together. All the women that didn't have kids, or didn't get the chance to have kids, or didn't get a chance to be in a relationship and have failing health, let's go all be somewhere together. But I think that there's value in figuring out what your purpose is. And I'm not saying, I don't know this woman, so I don't know that she hasn't found her purpose. Maybe this is an awakening for her, especially having health issues. I know when I had some health issues and inflammation, I was just like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Same thing. You start to realize that, okay, exactly what she said. I'm getting up and I'm going to work. And so it's not even just for women who don't have kids that feel this way. I have children. I've been married. I'm remarried. And so even when you're in a relationship, you need that sense of purpose. You need a sense of personal fulfillment. You can be very much in love with the person that you're with, but I feel like having your own sense of self and knowing who you are is just really important, just so that you don't feel like you're on this hamster wheel to nowhere. Just rinse and repeat every day. And part of being in your purpose is finding out authentically who you are as a person, not who somebody else told you were. Like stepping into your power, stepping into your confidence, and then using that, maybe using your struggles. Maybe she can use her struggles like she's doing now to help someone else. And I think we all have that ability. There's something within us that we're all supposed to share with others. We all have a voice. We just need to find it. And that's where the fulfillment comes. It doesn't come in getting up and rinsing and repeating every day. It comes in helping others. It also reminds me that's why a lot of people go into healthcare. That's why I became a nurse. But then you realize that's not the only thing. Like how else can I help? That's why I created this channel. Let's continue.
And I would much rather be with a group of women, anyhow, who have like minds and come together and build something together. I would love to do that. And I'm a nurse. I can go anywhere, and I'm willing to. I've been challenged lately with these thoughts of just being alone. And like that woman said, and I wish I could stitch her video, but the ignoramus, and I don't know how to do that. So I'm just, hopefully she'll find me on here. But I'm there, I'm with her, and I'd like to hear from more women, to hear if you're going through this too.
And that's what they don't tell you, right? Not just being lonely, but being alone. Because even though it's always a good thing to learn how to be alone, nobody wants to be alone. No one truly wants to grow old alone. But when we're younger, I see it a lot in these younger women. I can do it all by myself. I don't need a man. I don't need this. Humans are meant for connection. We are meant for connection. Obviously the right connection, do the work, find out who you are before you put yourself in connection with people, because that's how you end up disconnected. Do you know what would be nice? It would be nice if women knew this earlier, right? Because here's the thing about connections, from what I'm seeing online, the men who are 50 are looking for younger women. So were they feeding us a lie when we were younger, telling us, hey, you have time, don't hurry up, don't get married, go have your career? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with all of that. But when we focus all on that, and then We got to the point where we felt like we didn't need this. We didn't need the relationship. We didn't need the connection, which we're made for. It's absolutely insane that we're so lonely. We're in our 50s and 60s and we're so lonely, and no one wants to be lonely. No one wants to be alone. No one wants to go through end of life alone, go to a nursing home and have no one there to visit. I think we need, if we're at this point, maybe it's time we start telling our daughters, you know what, not that they can have a career, right? But don't give up that connection. Because who would want to have their daughters end up like this, so lonely? I don't think that was the intention, but that it's like this is where we're going, where there are a lot of women who are feeling lonely. There's the exception of the women that are just fine with what with the way their life is. They don't want a relationship. They didn't want children. Fine. I'm not talking to those women. I don't think she was talking to those women either. But this is just a truth of where the feminist movement has brought women to. And it's like by the time you get to this realization, the time for certain things has passed. The time to have children has passed. The time when you had a different bucket of men that you could choose from has passed. And that's just facts, right? And because those men that are waiting, they're looking for younger women, like I said. And I see that a lot online. So the men that have waited, they built just like we've told women to do. The men that have waited and built up their career, right? Because men can have kids into however long. They don't have that time clock that we have. So we're not one and the same. Those men, because now they're financially stable, they can get a younger woman, right? And still have children and not be alone. Anyhow, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you resonate with this woman. I think I love her name. Her handle is she's on TikTok at Wonder Woman RN. I love it. Wonder Woman is my idol. Hey, that's amazing. Okay, so anyway, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. And I love you. I will see you in the next one. I want all of you to step into your authenticity and make sure that you're not being misguided into loneliness at the end of your days. If you're watching this and this is a good conversation to have with your daughters. Anyhow, drop me a comment and I will see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.